Hello, Women's Empowerment. Thank you for tuning in again with me on today for Cooking with Rochelle. So I have something special for you. Today we're going to cook stuffed lemon garlic chicken breast with asparagus and roasted potatoes. So before we get started, we want to make sure everything is prepped. So today I already have everything prepped and ready to go. So we're ready to cook. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the lemon butter. And this is what we're going to finish the chicken breast with in the end. So I have a NutriBullet. So I'm going to take my parts and I have a stick of butter. Now the butter has already been set overnight, so it's at room temperature. You want to make sure your butter is at room temperature. And so you're just going to take a stick of butter, put it in there. Then we're going to take a couple, like maybe a tablespoon of garlic, depending on how much garlic you like. So, okay. I have a half a lemon, and so I'm going to squeeze the juice from this half a lemon. And then I'm going to zest the rest of it. I mean, this is a very fun butter that you can finish your chicken with, and it elevates the whole dish. You can do different variations of the butter. You could, make it spicy if you want to, whatever you feel like, whatever you want it. But I like lemon, so I just want to do a little lemon flavor. Okay. So, and then we're going to do some parsley. So I'm just going to take just about, a little bit. It's not too much. And I'm going to put that in there. Okay, so I have everything in my NutriBullet and I'm ready to blend it. So let me go ahead and plug it up. Put the bottom on there. And we're going to blend it up. Everything has blended up really good. Move this out the way. So you need to take your saran wrap. Just lay that flat in there. And you're going to reform the butter. So you're just going to make another butter stick. So scoop all that out. This is going to be really good. It's going to add a elevating touch to the end of the dish. Make sure you get the rest of that out. Make sure you get it all out. You don't want to leave anything in there. I mean, you can use any blending, a food processor or blender, anything to do this. I just have a NutriBullet, and that's why I used it. Okay, so you have it, and let me move it so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I have my butter spread out, and I'm just going to make another block with it. So I got to spread it out, and I'm just going to take it, roll it over, okay, and just roll it. Okay, and you've made another block. What I'm going to do, because I want this to be firm by the time I'm finished, I'm going to put it in the freezer to let it firm up, and it'll be back to its normal state. All right, let's go to the next step. The next step we're going to do, we're going to make the stuffing. So what I'm going to use spinach. And then I have sun-dried tomatoes that I have sitting in water because I want to rehydrate them. So, and I'm going to use cream cheese with it. And that's all my stuffing is going to consist of. So I have my griddle, and I'm going to saute up my spinach and my sun-dried tomatoes, and then I'm going to add in 4 ounces of this Greek cream cheese. I use Greek cream cheese because it's lower in calories, and we're talking about our physical health. We want to be healthy, and we don't want to have all those extra added calories. So this Greek cream cheese is going to really help us with that. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of olive oil on the griddle. I'm going to add my spinach. I have my griddle on 350. Just going to toss that around a little bit. Let that wilt. And you can add however much spinach you want to add to it. I don't want to have my chicken breast overstuffed, so I don't have as much. I'm going to add some of these sun-dried tomatoes. Okay, that's about enough. Just let that saute up. Okay, so I have it sauteed up a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic to it. And I'm going to season this. I'm only going to season this with salt. I don't want to add too much because I have the cream cheese that I'm going to add to this, and I don't want to, overdo it. So let that saute up a little bit. Let that garlic brown. And what you want to do, you always want, as you're cooking, you want to taste as you go. So I have me some pork right here that I'm just going to taste it to see if the stuffing tastes. Is it seasoned well? Because you don't want it to be bland. So, okay, that's perfect. Don't need anything else. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take this out. The reason why I'm using a spatula is because I don't want to scratch up my griddle. Once you start scratching it, it'll start losing its effectiveness to be non-stick. Okay, I'm going to move the griddle out the way. Okay, so right now I have my spinach and my sun-dried tomatoes. Now I'm going to add half of this Greek cream cheese. And I'm only making 2 stuffed chicken breasts, so I don't need a lot of cream cheese. So this around until it's all incorporated, and that's our stuffing. So I'm going to show you once I stir it up a little bit. I'm going to come back and show you how it looks. So I it all mixed up, and this is what it looks like. All right. So I'm gonna put that to the side and we're ready to stuff the chicken breast. Okay, so I already marinated my chicken overnight. And so simply, all I did was add a half a cup of olive oil, a tablespoon of garlic, a bundle of parsley, a half of a lemon, and half of a lemon zest. And this is what the marinade looks like. And I've already butterflied my chicken breast. And butterflying your chicken breast is really, really simple, Marissa. So it doesn't take long. A little trick to keep your cutting board still is to put a damp towel up under it. So when you have your cutting board, it doesn't slip all around. So basically, I just took my chicken breast, and on the side, I just gently put my hand on top of it and I went across it like that. And I didn't, I'm gonna show you what it looks like. I didn't go all the way through it. So this is what it looks like. I just cut and I just made a little pocket so that you can stuff it. So just take the knife, go all the way through until you get to the end, and then this is what it looks like. Okay, so now we're gonna stuff our chicken breast with our stuffing. So I have my 2 chicken breasts that have been butterflied already, and I'm gonna take half of each of the portion of this stuffing and put it inside of it. You don't wanna overstuff it, because if you do, it's not gonna close and you're just gonna have a mess. So just put just enough in the middle. And I'm gonna close this up with a toothpick. Okay. Toothpicks. So just take the chicken breast and fold it over, simply like that. And do the same thing for the next one. Take the chicken breast. Okay, so we're gonna use our toothpicks, and we're just going to start at the top, and you just take the toothpick in from the bottom and let it bring it to the top and stick it. It's like you want to make it solid and push that through. Okay, it's probably gonna take about 3 toothpicks to close it up. Depends on how big your chicken breast is. First one's closed, and do the same to the next one. Use about 3 toothpicks. And the purpose of this is just to keep the stuffing inside while it's cooking. I mean, you're gonna have some seep out, but this is going to keep majority of it in. And one more, last one. Yeah, see some of that is coming out the top anyway. It's gonna be okay. You know, if it comes out, I'm gonna add one more just in case so it won't seep out. Okay, y'all. So there you go. So those are stuffed and they're sealed. The next step, we're gonna go ahead and sear it. I got some water boiling on my stove. I'm going to par blanch my potatoes. I'm gonna show you how they look real quick. Wash my hands, wash them off real quick. I have my potatoes here. I'm going to go ahead and par blanch them. They're small little cubes. You want to make sure that they are the same size because you don't want to have inconsistency of the cook. So I'm going to go ahead and par blanch them in my boiling pot of water. I'm going to let that boil for about, I want to say maybe about 5 minutes, just for it to cook through a little bit. So when I put it back to finish it off, it won't take long to cook. To sear our chicken breast, we're going to do the vegetables at the end because the vegetables are not going to take long to cook. So I have some olive oil. I'm just going to gently put olive oil across the griddle. And I'm going to lay, before I do that, I'm going to season it with salt. And I love this Montreal chicken seasoning. It's so good. So I'm just going to gently do the when you hear that sizzle, you know it's ready. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my potatoes out of the pot. I'm going to let this sear until it's golden brown, and I'm going to finish it in the oven. Okay, I'm back, y'all. So this has been cooking for at least about 7 minutes. We're going to finish this in the oven. I already have my oven preheated to 350 degrees. I have my pan already in there preheated. Normally you can do this on top of the stove. You can cook it in the skillet. You can let it sear and get brown on one side. You flip it over and you stick it in the oven. But because I love using my griddle, I'm going to do it this way. So let's get the pan out the oven. Okay, got my pan. And I'm just going to simply flip my chicken breast inside the pan. Y'all look at that. That's gorgeous. That is gorgeous. Okay, so I got my beautiful, beautiful golden brown chicken breast. All right, I got it in my pan and we're going in the oven. Okay, that's going to be in the oven for, I want to say about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how big your chicken breast. I'm going to keep checking and checking, but I'll let you know when I get it out the oven how long it took for it to cook. All right, see y'all when it's done. Okay, so my chicken breast has been cooking for about 10 minutes in the oven and it's ready to come out, so I'm going to go ahead and let it come out and rest. That looks delicious. I'm going to let it sit right there and rest so that all the juices can just sink in there. We're going to go ahead and prepare the asparagus. So when you're preparing asparagus, you have to cut the ends of it off. And so I'm going to go ahead and rinse off my asparagus. Okay. And I'm going to cut the ends off. You probably want to cut a good bit of it off. You know, I always cut about this much off of it. Just make sure you don't have any of that stalkiness. Okay. Alright, so you want to blanch the asparagus. And basically what blanching is putting your vegetables in a boiling hot pot of water, letting it cook for just about maybe 30 seconds to 45 seconds. Let it get that bright green color, and then you're gonna put it in a small ice bath, and then you're gonna saute it. And that's an easy, simple way to blanch and cook your vegetables. So I got my water, it's boiling back here, and I'm just gonna put my asparagus in this boiling hot water, and I'm just gonna let it blanch until it gets that bright green color. I'm gonna take it out. I'm gonna put it in ice bath water, and we're gonna saute it. So when we get back, I'll go ahead and get it started. Okay, so it's cooked for about 30 seconds to 45 seconds. I have my ice bath right here. I'm gonna go ahead and just put it in the ice bath. Blanching is really simple and easy. You don't want to overcook your asparagus, but you want to have it give it that nice green, dark green, bright green color, and you don't want it to look, like a grayish color. So we're gonna let that sit aside, let that shop for a little bit. Okay, we got our griddle hot and ready. We're gonna go ahead and start our vegetables. So I'm gonna start the potatoes first, because it's gonna take a little bit longer to cook. I'm just gently putting olive oil on here, and I just have my potatoes ready. I kind of parboiled them for about 5 minutes so that it won't take long, and this is just like a seared roasted potatoes. And we're just gonna cook these until they're golden brown. So the potatoes have been cooking, they're brown on one side. I'm just gonna let it cook for a little bit until the asparagus is done. So we're gonna go ahead and add our asparagus. They've shocked for a little bit, and we're just gonna add it. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna finish my potatoes with salt and my asparagus with salt, and I'm gonna add some garlic to my potatoes. Give it another elevation of taste. Okay, and I'm just gonna sprinkle a little garlic powder on my asparagus. And when you can make this meal for a day, you can make this meal for a special occasion or a dinner party that you're having. This is really easy, simple meal, elevated meal, healthy meal that you can enjoy, a 5-star meal that you can enjoy right in your home. You don't have to go to a fancy restaurant to do this. You can do it yourself. And when you do it, you're gonna be proud of yourself. Just a fun fact about me, you guys, I went to Le Cordon Bleu, and I graduated in 2011, and I never did work in that career long, just about a year, but God is still using, he's still working, y'all. So it's not about where you start, it's about how you finish. Okay, so the potatoes are done, the asparagus is done. We're gonna plate it up. Okay, so whenever you're plating, you want to make sure it's pretty. So I'm gonna do half of my asparagus, and I'm gonna do kind of like 2 diagonals with the asparagus. Okay, so I'm diagonally doing it like that. Take my chicken breast. Lay it on top. And add some potatoes around. People are going to be really amazed at your skills. Okay, it's all plated up. I'm going to go grab my lemon butter and finish it at the end. Okay, it should be soft and firm. So all you will have to do now is cut it and put it on top. Okay, look at that wonderful butter. And as your meat, just your meat just will melt. take out your toothpicks. You don't want to come into any hard difficulties. There's about 3 toothpicks in here, so just gently pull them out. Last one right here. All right. Okay, let's eat. Can't wait, can't wait, can't wait. All right. Stuffed chicken breast. Look at that. Look at the inside of that. That just looks delicious. Okay, let's get that. Let's taste a little bit of that. That butter. This is so, You should try this. This is so delicious. This is so good. Oh my God, that is so delicious. Thank you so much for tuning in with me on today. And I will see you on Fashion Friday. Have a wonderful week.